Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yo Nityamachyuta Padambaja Yugma Rugma Vyamohata Saditarani Trinaya Mene Asmat Guru Bhagavato Sadayeka Sindhu Ramanujasya Charano Sharanam Prabhadhe Yasya Smarnamatrena Dvaita Vasana Pramachyate Bodhatmakaya Namastasmai Bhagavate Shri Ramanamarshaya Hridakashe Sada Bhantam Shantam Anandarupinam Jnanabanam Aham Vande Sadgurum Shri Satyasayinam Amantaryaminam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Shri Govindaya Namo Namaha. We sang, Aao, Aao, Nandalala, come, come, O Krishna. But the Vrajavasis did not call Krishna to come. They never said, Krishna, come. Everybody else was praying for the Avatara to come. People everywhere were oppressed by Kamsas and his evil cohorts. And they were all praying for relief. Rajavasis were not. The people of Gokulam and the environs there, they were not asking for such things. They did not even say, Aao. He went on his own. He went on his own, he told his father, he commanded his father, take me to Gokulam. And I said, every action of Krishna is teaching us something. God doesn't come because you called him. God doesn't come because you call him. God comes when he chooses to come. Yamevesha vrunute tena labhya. Upanishad says that the Atma is not attained through any means other than of its own volition, its own choice. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyona medayana bahuna shrutena yamevesha vrunute tena labhya. Tasyesha atma vivrunute tanum swam. This God, this Bhagavan, this Atma is not attained by calling out to it. Oh, come, 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 and it is not going to come. In fact, when you keep calling, come, come, it will go away. Swami often used to sing a little Telugu song, Adugakuve o manasa. Adugakuve o manasa. O mind, do not ask. O mind, do not ask from God. If you ask from God, then God will take that application of yours and place it in the bottom of the pile. Instead, he would say, Swami would, in that song, he would say that the Dasharatha who asked did not get anything. The Jatayu who did not ask got on his own. Dasharatha wanted Rama to do his final rites. This is a tradition in India that they think it is a great deal for them, for their bodies to be, finally disposed of. And they would always expect that the eldest son is there to do all these things. They'll feel nice and happy if the eldest son is there, that they depart. It is also part of the Shastra. that he pours Ganga water into the mouth and holding the tail of a cow and so on, giving the cow in dhanam. All these formalities have to be done in the last moment when a person is departing. Then they are assured of a great journey. So Dasharatha was so hopeful. Initially when he did not have any children, that is why he was so worried. When he finally had a son, he was so happy, I'm going to be sent off well. And he kept on planning upon it, kept asking. Adugokuve Swami says every once in a while he must have asked Rama, just make sure you do all these things, you do all these things. He must have expected it. In the end, Rama was not even there. Nobody was there. None of the 4 sons was there when he passed on. They had to put the body, store the body in oil to preserve it until Bharata could come and do what was necessary. Jatayu, on the other hand, the vulture Jatayu, did not ask. He did not even expect. And yet Rama came. Rama places the body of that wounded, bloodied vulture on his lap, caresses it, and says, you've given your life for me. And he himself tells Lakshmana, come, let us build a pyre for this noble soul. And so they build a pyre. Rama sets it, goes around 3 times, sets that body on fire in order to send it off, and says, permitted by me, Mayanugnyata gachalokan anuttaman. Go to many wonderful worlds permitted by me, he says. The Dasharatha who asked did not get, but the Jatayu who did not ask got. Similarly here, the people of Mathura wanted Bhagavan to come to save them, but Bhagavan did not stay in Mathura. He went to Vrajabhumi where they did not even ask him to come. But what were they willing to do? They were willing to serve him instead. They didn't say come, they said let us serve. So he said, if you want to serve me, how will you serve me if I am not there? Let me come there for you. All the others asked for Krishna to come in order to relieve their troubles. Kamsa is giving trouble to me, please come and take care of Kamsa. Destroy Kamsa. Bhagavan went, he will do it later. But he said, when you are asking selfishly, you put up for some time. When selfishly we ask something, know this for sure, the prayer will not be answered immediately. It will be answered. That is his nature, but not immediately. It will wait. When Hiranyakashipu was giving so much trouble, the Devas go up to ask Bhagavan. Bhagavan says, Kalam tavat pratikshata. Wait. Wait until the right time. Because they were asking selfishly for themselves. Can you please put an end to Hiranyakashipu? Why? He is troubling us. That selfish prayer, Bhagavan says, Kalam tavat pratikshata. Wait. Wait. Since you are being selfish, I will get to it when I feel like it. I will not come to it when you ask me to do it. I will do it when I feel like it. And they are still so shameless. They say, when will you feel like it? If you give an indication as to when you might feel like it, we will feel a little bit better. Then Bhagavan says, Yada Vedeshu, Deveshu, Goshu, Vipreshu. When the Vedas are harmed, he's already harmed the Vedas. When the Devas, we are already suffering. When the cows are also crying. Brahmanas. Then Bhagavan says, Prahladaya yada druhyet. Hanishyepi varorchitam. Swasutaya Prahladaya. When he harms his own son, Prahlada, then I will come. These things people are thinking, when will he harm his own son? Which father will harm his own son? Bhagavan simply did not respond to our prayers at all. Because no father will ever think of harming his own son. He will harm everybody else, but not his own son. But in the end, that's what happens. And Bhagavan says, wait until then. I will not come immediately. He comes rushing when only thing we ask is, let me serve you. Let me serve you. All I want to do is to make you happy. Now Bhagavan rushes there. He says, really? Come, I'll make you happy instead, he says. And that is what is going to happen. Bhagavan left Mathura, went to Vraja, Gokulam in the night. This transfer happened in the morning when they all woke up. Everybody was so happy. Entire Gokulam was celebrating in festivity because Nanda was the chief. Yashoda was the chieftain's wife, and they were very loving. And it was a small, close-knit, loving community it was. And both Nanda and Yashoda had advanced in years. They did not have any children. They had actually given up all hopes that they would ever have children. Because they were quite old by then. Finally, when Yashoda had conceived, it was like a miracle. So everybody was waiting for this miracle baby to come. This miracle child. And when this child came, everybody was happy initially that Yashoda had a child. That itself was a source of great joy to them. And beyond that, there was some other joy that they could not themselves understand. Because the morning when they woke up and they came, they saw all the trees were bearing flowers. Even the trees that would take some more time for the flowers to come, all of them suddenly, everything is looking very alive, looking filled with great joy. Did it really happen? We may ask a question. Did really all the flowers also come up now? Yes, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. It so happened once in Dakshineshwar, where Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was still as the priest of the Kali temple. And Mathurnath Biswas, who was the son-in-law of Rani Rashmani, who had built the temple, was having a conversation with Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna said, everything is possible for God, nothing is impossible for him. Mathurnath Biswas, as an educated man, used his logic and intelligence. He said, no, you cannot say that nothing is impossible. Certain things are bound by natural laws, which have been created by God himself. Which is not that I do not believe in God. But God himself has created natural laws, therefore he will follow them. Ramakrishna said, why does he need to follow any laws? If he is the creator, he can do whatever he wants. So they were passing by a hibiscus tree. And looking at the hibiscus tree, hibiscus flowers come sometimes in red and sometimes in white. They are different trees, different plants altogether. So looking at that, Mathurnath Biswas said, if the same plant can put out both a white and a red flower, for instance, then perhaps I will accept it. Next morning, when Ramakrishna goes there, he sees from one stalk, 2 flowers, one red and the other is white. He takes it and shows it to Mathurnath Biswas. What will you say now? What can she not do? What can the Divine Mother not do? Nothing is impossible. So, if all of Raja suddenly there were flowers everywhere, that is also equally possible. But more than all the flowers, I would say there were flowers inside. The Ananda Pushpa, the joyous flowers, sudden joy, some unknown joy. Everyone was happy. The logical minds say, we are happy because there's a child born here. This is natural. But this joy that they are feeling is much more than that joy they should logically feel. Something extraordinary. They are, without even being sure, unaware of what they are doing. All of them packed. They all wanted to go and see the child. The news spread everywhere. Small village. Everybody wanted to come. They all dressed themselves up in their finest and came out. And carrying gifts they came. The newborn child. So everybody wanted to carry gifts. What gifts did they carry? Not frankincense, myrrh and gold. What did they have? They had what they carried what they had. What did they have? No, they had milk and they had butter, they had curds, they had turmeric, they had kumkumam, all these things they carried. When all of this they carried and they came there, what should they have done? They should have come and handed everything over to Nandagopa, to Yashoda or something like that, isn't it? But this was the craze that came into them, some ananda that they could not understand what it was. They started pelting each other with the butter and the curds and the yogurt. They started throwing that upon each other. Even now in some places it happens. Vennayadi Utsavam peru. People throw butter upon Krishna. In Mannargudi, there is a beautiful Krishna shrine in Mannargudi in Tamil Nadu, Rajagopala Swami. When he goes out on a procession, people throw butter on him after his birthday. Here, if they are throwing all of that upon each other, some celebrate, how Holi, when Holi comes, everybody throws color on everybody. This is the start of Holi, actually. This is how that whole celebration came, where you throw colors on everybody. You throw these people through butter and oil and all kinds of things. They're going inside all dripping. What a sight it must have been. But they're not even aware of what a spectacle they're presenting themselves. And the place itself is all slippery. They're falling. Vizhundar, Ugandalippar, Alvar sings. Vijuvar. They're running and they're falling and slipping and falling in the threshold of Nandagopa's house. Now what else do you expect? Oil and butter everywhere. some unknown joy. The joys that we experience in this world all have a source that we know. And it is all limited, it's all measured. You eat something, you find some joy naturally. You listen to something nice, you find joy. But you know what is the source of that joy. If that is not there, then you will not find this joy, first. Second, it is limited. You understand through what senses you are perceiving it. If you're seeing something nice, the moment you close your eyes, it will go away. If you're eating something, the moment you put it away, the joy will go away. And that is why these senses are all given a name matra. The matra means measure. That which measures. இது எவ்வளவு மாத்திரம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. எந்த மாத்திரம் அப்படின்னா how much measure? So matra is measure. So senses are always measuring. This joy, this much joy has come, they measure the joy. Ana sukham atyantikam yet tad buddhigrahyam atindriyam, there is another sukha, there is another happiness, there is another ananda that is beyond the senses, and it does not have any limits at all. You do not know how it is coming, where it is coming from. There is no logical reason for it to come. That is the ananda that comes in a sthiti of samadhi. Then when you enter into that state of samadhi, there is a joy, there is no reason for this joy, there is no source that you can pinpoint for it. You just are in a state of bliss. Not a measured bliss, immeasurable bliss. That joy, without even having to do any sadhana, these people were given that joy, a glimpse of that, a taste of that joy was given to them by the simple presence of Bhagavan in that village. This same Bhagavan was present yesterday, last night, in that prison cell. Did Devaki and Vasudeva feel this kind of mad joy? No, they did not feel. They didn't feel. Appo he is specifically sending it. He is directing it. Paichum. Payum illayam. Paichum. It is not simply flowing from him. He is directing it. He is sending it. He is awakening this joy in them. This is the power that Bhagavan has got. When you come to him, you realize one important thing. You realize that you do not need to do anything at all. He can awaken, and whatever he wants, he can awaken on his own. There is nothing impossible for him. There is absolutely nothing impossible for him. By simply touching you, he will give you samadhi sthiti. You may think, what have I done to attain it? But he can give it to you if he wants to. No, what can he not do? It is not nothing to do with you in this. It is entirely upon him. If he wants to, he can, by the jnanam nu solrom, we say jnana. We say nobody can give jnana to you. Nobody can give you jnana. Nobody from outside can give you jnana nu solrom. That's true. But he is not outsider, no. If there is one person who can give you jnana, abdina Bhagavan can give you jnana. Chumma by his sankalpa matrena jnana will come to you. How abdina? Because he is the one who is hiding it. Tirodhana karim ishwarim chana. Tirodhana, the hiding is done by him. He can matta smritir jnanam apohanancha. Bhagavan says in the Gita, jnana, ajnana, everything comes from me. So in that moment he awakens this delight, this joy in the simple people of Raja. They are not lettered, they are not educated, they are all cowherds. Yesterday I told you, if you did not study well, what they would predict your future would be. That was their present. They were merely grazing of what had they studied, what Shastra had they studied. Zero knowledge they had. And yet this Ananda comes to them. This Brahmananda comes to them. And they all go in and see this child. For the first time they are seeing this child. Dark child lying there. Nanda is fair. Yashoda is also fair. This child, on the other hand, is like a drishti puttu for both of them. So all of them are wondering, why is this child in this color? How did this happen? An old lady, an old party is there. She said, I knew Nanda's grandfather when I was a young girl. Nandanum illa, Nandan appanum illa. Nandanoda paatan. Nanda's grandfather I knew. He was somewhat dark. And nobody else is there alive to remember that. If the party says, Nanda's gone. He has gone on his great grandfather. He is coming from that side. He is not even their child. And they are trying to figure out, Kanna pata na Yashoda mari illa. Look, eyes look like Yashoda's eyes. His nose looks like Nandagopa's nose. Color looks like Nandagopa's grandfather. One lady is saying whether he is dark or not, he is so cute. Other one, don't cast your evil eyes upon this sweet child. The child is just born. I mean, all of them are showering, lavishing their love. They do not know why. This is Bhagavad Prema. When Atma Ramaha, even the great Mahajnanis, Nirgrantha Pyurukrame Kurvanti Ahitukim Bhaktim Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi. There's a question that is asked right in the Bhagavatam, right at the beginning of Bhagavatam, when it is revealed that Shukacharya was the one who told Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaja. Shuka was known to be a Brahmajnani, Brahmanishta. Brahmajnanis generally speak only about Brahman, if at all they speak. They generally like to be in silence. Because there's nothing to speak, there is nobody to speak to. Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma, Neha Nanasti Kinchana. One alone exists, there is no two. Who are they speaking to and what are they speaking about? And so silence is their preferred mode. Nobody will sit down and speak 12 skandhas worth, so many shlokas worth. And they said Shukacharya is the one who narrated the Bhagavatam. So people were surprised. They said, really? How come Shuka asked for that? How did Shuka ask for this? How did Shuka say this? Appo the answer is given, Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi. This is the power of Bhagavan. This is the wonder of Bhagavan. This is the uniqueness of the Lord, that His sweetness is such that even somebody who doesn't care about duality will fall for it. Even someone who does not care for what God other than me, when Bhagavan comes in front of him, this God. Ittam Bhuta Guna. Ittam, this is the wonder of Hari. This is the greatness of God. So when even Atma Rama those who are engrossed in themselves can be moved by Bhagavan, what about all these simple, innocent folk who knew only love in their hearts? So great rejoicing was happening. Everybody was happy. Bhagavan was giving this joy to them already. This is the starting. Krishna Avataram Nale Ananda Sambramam. It is a great festival of joy. It's a great mart of joy. Only those who are willing to turn towards this can understand what this joy is. Otherwise, you will always try to think of it as another joy alongside the many joys that you have experienced in life, and you would say, so what? What have we not seen? And it is only those fortunate ones who have gone and touched this who will understand what I am talking about. This joy is not the joy that you have experienced in this world at all. No matter what joy you have experienced in your life until this moment, this is not that joy. This is something else. Life goes on. Even though such a wonderful event has happened, Nandagopa had some work to do. He had to go to Mathura to pay tributes to Kamsa, because all the cows are there. They are using the cows, they are delivering the food there, sending the food, the milk and yogurt, etc. to the capital, but they will also sell the rest of it. That was the way that they will make their money and they may have their livelihood. But they have to pay taxes on that. They had to pay tax because the cows did not belong to them. The cows belonged to the king. They herded the cows and they delivered the requirements to the palace, the dairy requirements to the palace. The rest of it, the surplus was something that they could sell and use for themselves, but they also had to pay a tax on that. So this was the time for the tax. So taking all the tributes that was necessary, Nandagopa went to Mathura, finished all of those procedures and came to meet Vasudeva. Vasudeva was a good friend of his. Vasudeva by now had been released from the prison, so he came there. Vasudeva knows everything. Vasudeva knows who this child is and where this child is. Both of his children are actually growing up there. under Nanda's care. So, but he can't reveal this to him. So he says to Nandagopal when he comes, I heard that you've had a son. I'm so happy for you. In your advanced years, when you had almost given up hope of ever having children, to have a child, this is divine providence. Look after the children well. Pava Nandagopal was very innocent. Nandagopal thought, Ayo, what a wonderful man Vasudeva is. He has lost so many children. And in spite of it, he is happy for me for having my one child. What did he thought? My child that is growing up there. So he said, I also heard about everything that happened to you. I'm so sorry. One girl child, even that was finally killed. It is really terrible. But don't worry, your other son is growing up well there. I will look after the other son as well as I look after my son. Balarama, no? The eldest son. So Rohini is also there. Don't worry, sister, Rohini's son will be treated like my own son. I will treat him on par with my child. There will be no sense of differentiation. You don't worry about it. This is the least I can do. He said, all right. But go quickly. Vasudeva said, don't tarry here any longer because Kamsa is suspicious by nature. You better go quickly. Already he is looking, he is thinking that the girl child said something and went, so there is a lot of fear around. You better go back quickly. In the meantime, while this conversation is happening, there in Gokulam, a demoness deputed by Kamsa comes there. Putana Balaghatini. Putana who specialized in killing children. The Asura would specialities irukku. Masters ellam padichadu specialization. Pediatrics nu solrom. Ava vera madri. Ava pediatrics vera PDR irundhudu in the tricks. Several tricks she employed. One of those tricks that she employed was she smeared her breasts with poison and she took on a very beautiful form. That was not her original form, it seemed, but she can take on a beautiful form. One wonders then why would she stick in her original form? பார்க்க செய்யாம ஒரு ஃபார்ம் ஆனால் வேணும்னா நான் என்ன பண்ணிக்கலாம்னா அப்போ அப்படியே இருக்க வேண்டியதானே. But most people are also like that, no? Most people are like that actually. If you want, you can be good. If you want, you are very polite. In front of strangers, you are very courteous. Hello. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. We can be if we want. And when we are home, we will never do it. Or thank you, or sorry, why should I do? The irony, I told you the greatest wonder is the stupidity of human beings. Because you will be polite to strangers whom you will not meet again. You will not meet them again. You are just walking by in the bus, in the train, somewhere in the supermarket. Hello. Hello. Come back at home and say, these are the people you live with. How much wonderful it will be if you are polite to them. You can be polite, but you revert back to your asuric tendencies. இது நூத்தனமா இருக்கு அவ்வளவுதான். அது பூத்தனமா இருக்கு, இது நூத்தனமா இருக்கு. This is modern, she is பூத்தனா. What is the difference between பூத்தனா and our behavior? We can be nice. A little bit of effort and we can be nice, but we choose to go back to being nasty. That's putana. And so she came, she adopted such a beautiful and enchanting form, like a Mohini. She came, not only the men, even the women were entranced by such beauty. As she came in, somehow everybody trusted this beauty. This is another foolishness that we have. If someone is good looking, we will end up trusting them. That is how politicians actually get votes. Some good politicians, they may be good ones, but their face doesn't help them. They don't get voted. They don't get elected. They lose. It's very sad it is sometimes. And on the face, I trust that face, Amma. The face is not doing it. The hands are doing everything later on. And behind the face, there is a head that is doing everything. No, that's a trustworthy face. So because she looked so trustworthy, everybody believed her. She walked, she sashayed her way in, straight she went in, and she walked up to Rohini was there and Yashoda was there. I heard there is a newborn child here. Yes. Where? In that house. She goes straight to that house. She walks in. Yashoda is there with the child. Can I have a look at the child? Yashoda does not know why she is handing the child. She is giving the child over. Child is sleeping. Krishna is sleeping. Krishna has just fallen asleep. His eyes are closed and he is sleeping. And as she takes the child up, and she doesn't know which mother, she just fell asleep. Sorry, I can't give him now. For some reason, some entrancement, she says, here, take. And so Putana takes the child and brings him close to her breast in order to suckle him. And the reason is only to kill him. And she has smeared such a terrible poison upon it. Durviryamulbanam. Tasmin stanam durjara viryamulbanam. There is a poison which is extremely toxic, extremely venomous poison that she has smeared upon herself. And when she takes this child, Gadam karabhyam bhagavan prapidyatat pranaihi samam rosha samanvito pibat. When she came in this manner, Bhagavan caught hold of her breast, pressed it with great force and began to drink. Not her milk but her life. Pranaihi samam. Along with her milk, she took the life also. But immediately she started screaming. She could understand that her life was departing from her. She started screaming, Sa muncha muncha alam iti prabhashini. She said, Muncha muncha alam alam, release, release, enough, enough. Muncha muncha alamiti, enough, enough, release me in Chananam. Bhagavan said, all right, I will release you, wait in Chananam. He didn't let go. He said, I will release. From what? From samsara I will release. She said, release me. She said, I will release you. But I will not release you just like this. I will release you from samsara. And so he did not stop until she fell dead. Within a month less than a month old he is. Few days old. That is why yesterday I told you, if this fellow wanted to kill Kamsa, it was not a big deal at all for him. In fact, even when he appeared with Shankha Chakra, etc. Without all of that, he is able to kill her. Now, with all of that, what can he not accomplish and do? He still doesn't want to. He says, no, I have to come back. I have to come to Gokulam, stay there for a while. I'll come after 11 years. Kamsa's 11 years ayush. Kamsa's lifespan is still there. This is another wonder. Even if Bhagavan himself is born in that house, he cannot kill him until the time for him comes. We are also worried, no? Actually, we are all worried. We are thinking of various means by which we can prolong our life. You don't have to do anything. Even if you want to die, you cannot die if the time is not yet up. And if you look at all the other people who die, it is not that any of them wanted to die. Bhagavan is born for the purpose of killing Kamsa, and then he says, okay, I'll go to Gokulam. This is still 11 years' time. Kalam tavat pratikshata chuttu Bhagavan is going. Putana's time had come, so he didn't need anything. He simply sucked her life out, and she fell dead. And when she fell dead, she went back to resume her old form, which was like a huge little hill it was. Big, huge form, terrible form. All the people came running to see what has happened, to see there was this big farm in the courtyard. A woman had gone inside. Now, who is this that has come out? They make the connection. What has happened to this little child? They look around, they can't see the child. What has happened? What has happened? Everybody is searching. But somewhere on top of this hill, this top of this hill called Putana, there's this child. Very hard to tell him apart. Somebody saw and somebody had to scale up the body to get the child and give it. Oh, Yashoda, as our life has come back, how did we get fooled by this? And they started to do all kinds of prayers. They all said, let us pray to Bhagavan. They said, let Sriman Narayana protect this child, let Sri Hari protect this child, let Madhava protect this child, let Madhusudana protect this child. Who is the child now? Vandan Sakshat. So they invoked him to protect him. The body was so big that they did not know how to dispose of it. They had to burn it, but it was so big, so they had to chop it into pieces to cart it outside the little hamlet, and then they built a big pyre and they burnt it. And to their great surprise, when they burned the body of Putana, the sweet fragrance emanated from the funeral pyre. What was the reason for that? Because she had come into contact with this divine form of Sri Krishna. Putana lokabalagni rakshasi rudirashana jigamsayapi haraye stanam tatvapasadgatim. Putana Balagni, she was a killer of children, infant killer. Rakshasi, she was. Rudirashana, she used to drink blood, it seems. She will open up, she will put her legs up, pop a can of blood and drink it in front of the TV. After a day's long work of killing children, when she comes back home, open the fridge, take a can, pop it and sit drinking. Blood. Rudirashana children, Shukale children. Jigamsayapi haraye stanam datva. Even though she's so cruel, even though she came with the purpose of killing him, because she gave herself to him, apasadgatim, she attained the supreme state. Kim punashraddaya bhaktya krishnaya paramatmane yachan priyatamam kim tu Raktastan mataro yata padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam vandyabhyam lokavanditaihi angam yasya samakramya bhagavan apibat stanam yatudanyapisa swargamavapa janani gatim. Putana attained the same state that Krishna's mother would attain. This becomes a great wonder. Later on, Brahma, on an occasion, asks Krishna, he says, I have a question. Bhagavan, I have a question. Can you solve my doubt? Because it is bewildering my mind when I think about it. Krishna says, what? Putana came to kill you, and you gave moksha to her. Putana came to kill you, and you gave moksha to her. According to Upanishad, the moksha is the highest state that you can attain. To somebody who comes to kill you, if you give moksha, what are you planning to give to Yashoda? What are you planning to give to the Gopikas? What are you planning to give to all these people who love you so much? But Krishna was very stunned. Krishna himself was stunned. He says, to stop for a while, Chuchu. I hadn't fully considered it. And I had just come. I had just taken avataram. She was the first debut. First kill was Putana. I was so overjoyed. I decided to give moksha to her. Okay, that is fine. But if you give moksha to somebody who kills you, what will you give to somebody who loves you? Somebody hates you, comes to kill you, and you give moksha. What about those who love you? But Bhagavan had to think long and hard about it. That is why later on, when the Gopikas gather around him in Rasa Leela, Bhagavan tells them, what can I give you? What can I give you? Moksha is only for people like Putana. Moksha alanjan irukame. Adu Putana helukuthaan adella. People don't understand. People think, I want moksha. What is this moksha business? Moksha is nothing. Andal says, that's kadacha vishayamache. Kutrevalengali kollamal pohadu. It is already done, granted deal. If even Putana can get moksha, forget moksha. We don't want moksha. Moksha romba cheap abiduthu. Kandadukala moksha kadikkiradhu. Yaarukku vena namakku vanda. If any random Rakshasi can get moksha, who wants it? No, tell me seriously. Putana came, she attained moksha. Sishupalana moksha. Appo moksha is devalued. We don't want moksha. We want something better than moksha. What is better than moksha? Yatraikum yerar bravikum mundannoru tromeyavo munake namachaivo. That is why Andal says it so beautifully. No matter how many births we take, janam ka saath. Let us only serve you. We want to be close to you and we want to serve you. Bhagavan says, moksha niye vachko. You keep your moksha. We want to be with you. Being with him itself is greater than moksha. The ananda that comes in that prema is something that is here and now. Moksha is not here and now. This premanandam is here and now. Without any effort, they attained this prema, this ananda. Moksha is attained through effort. These people attained it without any effort. So moksha, after Krishna avataram, moksha became devalued. Until then, moksha was an important thing, busy thing. Important. People were saying, Krishna suddenly came and devalued moksha, the monetary devaluation. Until then, this is valued. Suddenly, that value drops, inflation. Like that, moksha became, it's okay, moksha. That is why nowadays nobody is interested in moksha, actually. Kali Yugathil, who is really concerned about moksha? People are interested in. They're saying it's okay, we can come back again. Life seems to be getting better and better. And then we'll come back and enjoy more things. We are waiting to see what AI will do. Especially where elderly people are there. No? You're 80, 90, 95. You don't have long. You can't see what else AI is going to bring about. So much is happening. Next time if you come back, you'll be able to see. So when the Gopikas come to him with that prema, Bhagavan looks at them and he says, for this prema, moksha also is nothing great. I have to give myself to you. I'll give myself to you. Why myself? Now, because he is the giver of moksha. Moksha is still less than him. Muktim dadati iti mukundahan moksha ishyami na Bhagavan cholran. I will liberate you. But the liberator has to be greater than liberation. I will give myself to you. What in Bhagavan says. What is the meaning of giving himself to us is not something you can sit here and imagine and understand, conjecture or try to understand. It is only an experience. And when you have that experience, you'll realize what it is. Until then, you can only think, okay, he's going to give himself. What does that even mean? So to Putana, he gave moksha. Nandagopa and the others, after finishing their jobs in Mathura, when they came back, they heard about all this that had happened, and they said, oh, Vasudeva has become a Dirgadarshi, has become prophetic, because he warned us about such events. Slowly Krishna leelas are going to start. Mostly first in the Asura Samhara leelas are there, several of them are there. By the time Krishna turned 3 months, not 3 years, 3 months, there is a particular festival associated with that, Bahir Nishkramamam na peru. The child is taken out only after 3 months. Until then, child is not taken out. And several milestones are celebrated for the child. First, when the child is born, 11 days later, naming ceremony is supposed to be done for the child. Punyaha Vachanam is done, naming ceremony is done, christening is done. Christening is done. And what had happened, because Putana had already come and all this had happened, so that 11-day naming ceremony was postponed. They said, let's not do it now. Otherwise, the name should have been given then and there. The name is not given until he is 1 year old. Because even now in India, in some traditions, people believe that if there's been a lot of unfortunate incidents happening in a particular family, they will not give a name to the child immediately. They somehow think that if we do not name the child, we can ward off all these difficulties. As though envelope name put amcha madri nanappa namak. Because we think that the difficulties that come know our name and therefore they come to us. So they will not give a name. Or even if they give a name, they will give a very random name. Garbage appadin peru vappa. Garbage ne peru kuppai appadin peru vappa. Illana beggar pichai appadin peru vappa. They will give names like this. பிச்சைனே பேர் இருக்கும் சில பேருக்கு. குப்பை பிச்சை அப்படிலாம் பேர் இருக்கும். அப்புறம் பெருசாக குப்புசாமின்னு மாற்றிடுவா. குப்பசாமியாக இருந்திருக்கும், அது கொஞ்சம் குப்புசாமி அப்படின்னு. பிச்சுமணி, பிச்சையை பிச்சுமணின்னு மாற்றி விடலாம். And initially the name will be given like something in order to avert the danger that is coming. So this child was not given a name in out of fear. So this child ne cholra. Arbakaha, this boy. Korandai. So when the child had turned 3 months, it was the time to bring the child out. Until then the child is confined inside because you don't want to catch any infections and so on. The body has to become a little bit established. Immune system is built up. 3 months mother's milk has been drunk. It gives a lot of immunity and so on. This is all survival mechanisms over a period of time. Cultures have evolved all of these things. And so this was the ceremony to bring him out. It was Rohini Nakshatram that day, the same Nakshatram, Janma Nakshatram. And so Yashoda had given him a nice bath. Oil allam thadavi, massage allam panni, she had given him a nice bath.
And so after all of that, and he had fed, he fell asleep. If you want a child to sleep, those who have reared babies, we know what to do. Give them a nice oil massage and then give them a nice warm water bath. They will fall asleep. But as a festivity, everybody else had come. The celebration is for the child. The child is fast asleep, but everybody else is celebrating. First birthday in Chulva. Child's first birthday, everybody will gather together. The child does not even know anything. He is only crying because there is so much noise. Why are there so many people? It's the most miserable time for the child, first birthday. And everybody else is celebrating first birthday of the child. So Yashoda, in order to keep the child away from, everybody hustle and bustle in the hum, there was a cart in the courtyard. And so she tied the child to the bottom of the cart. She took a cloth and she made a little cloth swing and she put the child into that. And there were a few boys that were playing there. He said, hey, keep an eye on the child. So she went inside. Rohini and Yashoda, all of them were very busy. Several brahmanas had been invited. Several guests had come. And all of Vraja come there. It so happened that in Vrajabhumi, in wherever Krishna was, Vrindavan, Gokulam, wherever he was, everybody found some excuse or the other to come to Yashoda's house. And then the child is there. Morning to evening, somebody or the other will always be lingering around that house. Patham Bhagavan, that is why he started going out afterwards. When he grew up, he said, I'll come to your house. Don't come and make a mess in my house. I'll come and make a mess there. He started coming there. When everybody had come there, then Sakadashuran or Asuran, who took the form of a wheel. He took the form of a wheel and he came and wanted to kill Krishna. Bhagavan simply kicked this Asura with his tiny little baby foot. And since he had taken the form of the wheel, he crashed, collapsed, and the cart fell down. And upon that cart, several pots of milk and yogurt, etc. had been kept. All of them came sliding down with a big crash. The noise drew everybody's attention. All of them ran to the courtyard to see this cart had collapsed. One side, one wheel had gone, it had collapsed like this. And Yashoda had a panic attack because this was the cart under which the child was. So she ran to see, luckily the child was safe. Naturally the child is safe. This is the one who is causing everybody else's safety to go away. He will be safe. So Sakadasura Bhanjanam happened in this manner. The child turned about 1 year. And Yashoda was, by now he was, 1 year old child. Now you can imagine how he'll be. Not a 3-month-old baby, 1 year old child. Well, one day, Yashoda was sitting outside on the veranda of her house. And she had kept the child on her lap. Then she was playing with him, fondling him. And suddenly she felt he became very heavy. Just as she picked him up and placed him on her lap and it was all right. Suddenly, as he was sitting on her lap, suddenly she felt he became very heavy. She didn't want to accept it. No mother would like to accept that her child is fat. அது பார்த்தா எப்படி இருக்கும், பாவம் குழந்தை அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவா. Generally mothers have this. You waddle inside the house. அது ரொம்ப அழைச்சிட்டியாடா அப்படி. Have you lost weight? Are you all right? Are you eating properly? You seem to have lost weight. You have with difficulty waddled in breathlessly. You have not walked in. You can no longer walk, you waddled in. And the mother will say, have you lost weight? So Yashoda could not accept the fact that her child was heavy. But somehow with difficulty, she lifted him up and placed him on the ground. She didn't want to accept that the child was heavy, but at the same time, she thought a little bit more and I might have a thigh fracture. And she somehow rolled him out, placed him down, and stay there. And she went inside. But this was all in preparation. Bhagavan had prepared himself for this because Trinavarta was coming. Trinavarta was another Asura. And he took the form of a whirlwind, a tornado. Cyclonica, he's coming like that. And he saw this because Kamsa has sent them in all over the countryside to saying that child is there somewhere, find that child and kill him. This is this blanket order he gave. They all asked him, the wanted dead or alive. Some name should be there, some form should be there. This Nama Rupam Illama, Arupama irukku, Anavama irukku. This Brahmam, Nirguna Brahmam. When they all ask you, the commission has been given out, everybody kill the child. So they ask, okay, give some details about the child. Don't know. What's his name? We don't know. How does he look? We do not know. Where is he? We do not know. The only thing that will correspond to that is Brahman. How is the Brahman? We cannot say yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. We cannot say. How does it look? It has no form. What is its name? It has no names. It is avyakta, arupa, anama. In the Krishna, to show that Krishna is the same Brahman, all the asuras are wandering around. They don't even have a little paper on their arm to compare. Consider. Chumma chutti. Or kohandeyam. Potluck. Who knows which child is that child? Ella child, is this that child? Is this the child? Ella mimamsa pedta ellarkum ange. It became a mimamsa for everybody. Mimamsa na or quest, or Vedantic quest. Is this, not this, neti, abdingira. Ella asuras, rakshasas. Rakshasas are going about saying neti, Vedantam. When Bhagavan is born, Vedantam becomes easy. Ellam easy abiduthu. Asuras are also saying neti, not this, they're rejecting. Which is it? Which is it? Which is it? Which is it? Vedanta Mimamsa. So Trinavarta is coming and finally he saw this child and somehow he felt the vibes from this child were such that this must be that child. Idam ittam. Is this that child? Let me test it out. Actually, he came there and this child was all alone. He had manufactured such a wonderful scenario. He made himself become so heavy that Yashoda felt compelled to leave him down and she had to go to relieve her legs a little bit. Then she had gone. He was all alone by himself because he did not want Yashoda to be damaged or disturbed with this wind coming. So since he was all alone and Trinavarta came there revolving around and caught hold of him, and the next instant he was caught up in that whirlwind, he disappeared from there, he went. And there was so much dust that was caused by that whirlwind that entire Gokulam was plunged into darkness because of the dust there. Like a dust storm it was. And the stones began to fly around, trees began to fly around, people ran helter-skelter to take shelter, nobody was outside, so nobody saw this child being carried away by Trinavarta. But on hearing this wind, Yashoda comes running out. I've left Krishna there, I've left this child there, and when she comes running out, she cannot see the child. You can only imagine the panic. After a long time she's had a child. It doesn't matter whether you had it after a long time or not. If it is a child and the child is missing, only a mother will know what it feels. And this is a child that is such a precious child. Not only precious because he came after such a long time, but he actually precious. But as she is panicking, she is crying. Everybody, when the sounds of the wind abated, people could hear the wailings of Yashoda. They came running around. What happened? The child is missing. Everybody started searching. Where is the child? If nobody looking up, where is the child? Where is the child? If you want to find this child, you have to search for where this child will be available. That is also the mistake that we keep doing. We also want to see this child. This child is the Atma. This child is the truth. This child is God. Where are we searching for him? Everywhere except where he is. Now Trinavarta, disguising himself as this whirlwind, came there. He took the form of this wind. He came there and he caught hold of the child and he decided to take this child high up and wanted to throw this child down, smash this child down to his death from the heights. This was his plan. And as he is carrying this child, he felt the same thing that Yashoda felt. This child is heavier than a mountain. No matter how powerful the wind is, can it move a mountain? But he suddenly felt it has caught hold of a mountain. I thought I picked up a child, not knowing it is like a big rock. Tamashmanam manyamana atmano gurumattaya gale grihita utsrishtam na ashakarot adbhutarbakam. He had picked up this child and taken this child up. Now he cannot bear this weight of this child anymore. So he wanted to get rid of this child. But once you pick up this child, you can't get rid of this child. This is the problem. He wanted to throw the child away. But now what the child did, the child clambered onto him and caught hold of his neck. He is pulling. He caught hold of his neck like this. This Bhagavan's wonderful leela this is. In everything, Bhagavan is revealing so many truths about himself. If you catch hold of him once, after that, he will not let go of you. Nee vidiya vidiya na kuda vidmadam. Ala muncha alamiti na. No, I will not. Putana ko adachi. Putana lifted him up on her own. She came and lifted him up. On her own, she came and lifted him up. She chose him. She lifted him up. She kept him close. Now, even if she wants to let go, he will not let go. Trinavarta came. He lifted him up and went. Now, even if he wants to let go of him, Krishna will not let go of him. Tam adbhutam arbakam. Adbhutarbakam, this wondrous child. This wondrous child is not letting go of Trinavarta. He caught hold of his neck. Of course, not a loving hold. It was a choke hold. Galagrahana nischeshtaha. Daityo nirgatalochanaha. His eyes began to expand because he was being squeezed. And unable to breathe finally, he died there itself. So he collapsed. He wanted to take Krishna up and smash him down. Bhagavan has one standard rule. Whatever reason you come to me, your desire will be fulfilled. In a reflected way. I will kill this child. They were killed. I will take this child and fling him from the top. He was flung from the top. That's reverse side. If that is the case, now think of all the good things. I want to serve this child. What will happen? It will get reversed. The child will serve you. I want to kill this child, and the child will kill you. I want to love this child, and the child will love you. If I want to serve this divine, the divine will serve you. If I want to attain this divine, the divine will attain you. Something extraordinary. You need not attain the divine will come and attain you. All you must want is just that divine. When you want that divine, the divine wants you. This we see again and again. And there is no other way in which he does this. What Trinavarta wanted to do to Krishna, Krishna did to him. What Putana wanted to do to Krishna, Krishna did to Putana. But whatever you want to do to Krishna, Krishna will do to you. Whatever you want to do to Krishna, Krishna will do to you. So you choose what you want to do to Krishna. But be assured he will do it to you. He will do it to you. And so when all the people are searching here below, looking for where is Krishna, somebody saw a little dot, which was increasing in size. Like a little shadow it was, and slowly it was increasing. They looked up to see something huge falling from above. They all again ran helter-skelter. Ran into shelter, and third came a fall, a big mountain-like body fell. Third was an asura this time. Upper Rakshasi was there, this is a Rakshasas here. And playing on top of this big hill is this little child. Now once again somebody clambers up, brings the child and gives it. Yashoda, take better care of your child. How wouldn't we have to climb a hill to bring him down? Once again, everybody thought it is Bhagavan, it is the good that we have done in the past birth. All the tapas we must have done, Yashoda has done, Nandagopa has done, all of us have done, because this child was not just Nandagopa's child, Yashoda's child, it was the whole village's child. When this child is safe, everybody is happy. When this child is missing, everybody is panicking. It is what tapasya we must have done in the past. Bhagavan is propitious to us. He is happy with us. That is why this child is being saved, and they are once again offering their prayers to the Lord who has taken the form of this child. And Bhagavan doesn't want to reveal it to them. He does all of these things, but he keeps them under the illusion that it is some God who is saving. Otherwise, they will stand at a distance and start worshipping him. Bhagavan doesn't want it. Bhagavan actually doesn't care to be worshipped. Bhagavan doesn't really care to be worshipped. That is why when you go to a temple, what do you see in a temple? What do you see in a temple? You see a stone. Does it talk to you? You have faith. I'm not questioning it. I'm not questioning your faith. But has it spoken to you? You put it somewhere inside in the Garbhagraham. You call it the sanctum. And you put this thing in the sanctum, you stay afar from here, you slap your cheeks and you join your palms together and you do all kinds of things. It stays there. You have not This is not something I want to do. So I'll just stay as immobile and unresponsive, he says. Krishna is not like that. See, the moment you worship him, he has to adopt a certain response, appropriate response. And then he has to stay apart, no? Stand like that. Yes or no? It depends on how you relate to somebody. They are forced to relate to you in the same way as you are relating to them, isn't it? They can't do anything else. Swami will say, if you speak to somebody in whispers, nobody will feel the need to shout. If you speak in whispers, nobody will feel the need to shout. So speak softly and silver. To say, if you speak softly, everybody will also feel forced to respond. How are you? Yeah, I am fine. When you say, are you all right? How are you? Fine? How are you? Yeah, I'm fine. You will force the other person to naturally respond, to lower their voice in response to yours. Naturally it will happen. Others will feel compelled to. They feel guilty to speak loudly. Almost. Bhagavan is also like that. Bhagavan responds to us. If you keep him at a distance and worship him, he will gladly stay at that distance and remain as this worshipable deity, Aradhya Devata. Again, Krishna turned all of it upside down. When Krishna Avataram happened, it turned everything upside down. He didn't want them to worship him at all. The last thing he wanted was to, the moment his divinity became revealed and they started to worship him, the poor fellow had to leave from there and go. He also couldn't help it. When you lift up a mountain, no? All these things are coincidences. Nobody saw. The cart came crashing down. All the children said he kicked. When the cart came crashing down, everybody came. He was the one who kicked and they all said. Nobody believed the children. A small baby kicking and the cart crashing. What nonsense. No, these guys, they're just saying something. All the other previous times he escaped because nobody was there to witness it. Only children were there to witness it. Nobody paid attention to the words of children. But slowly when he lifted up the mountain Govardhana, all of Vraja saw it. When he danced on Kaliya, all of Vrindavan saw it. Those things became too big. He couldn't contain it. After some time they started worshipping him. He said, time for me to leave. And he went away. Bhagavan doesn't care for our worship. Bhagavan cares for our prema. Bhagavan doesn't care for our worship. He cares for prema. Because you will only worship because you want something. I told you how you are never polite to your family. It is because you don't want anything from them. Actually, the reason why we are not very polite to our family is because we love them without wanting anything. Whereas with all the others, we want something from them. That is why we are actually polite. When you want something from somebody, I hope you're all right. I hope you're fine. By the way, can you do this for me? When you don't want anything, hey, are you fine? Good, finished, done. So why are you worshipping him? With stotrams, people will do all kinds of stotrams. Why flatter him? What is your point? You want something from him, so you're flattering him. You're so nice, you're so good. What do you want? Bhagavan ke theriyum. What do you want? That's the best prayer is just his name. The best prayer is just his name. Call out his name, that's enough. Why do you call out his name? Because you love him, you call out his name. Out of prema, when you call out his name, there is no agenda to it. You're not seeking anything. On the other hand, when you're praying specifically, when you say, oh, you are the destroyer of diseases. ஏதோ இருக்குன்னு அர்த்தம். தன்வந்திரி சொல்றோம். When do you worship Dhanvantri? Normally, do you worship Dhanvantri? Nobody worship Dhanvantri. Dhanvantri Homam. Somebody is not well. Mrityunjaya Homam. Somebody is not well. So we will do Mrityunjaya Homam. Prayers are targeted. Sutis and prayers are targeted. Nama is not targeted. Nama is out of prema. Krishna. What do you want? No, I don't want anything. Krishna. Then why did you say Krishna? Krishna. It is so sweet, so I said Krishna. What is it to you? Bhagavan comes and, hey, why did you call me? No, I didn't call you. Then you said Krishna. No, I said Krishna because I liked it. It is so sweet. What is it to you? It is so sweet, I'll keep calling it. But it is my name now. What can I do about it? It is not my fault, it is your name. It is sweet. And I shall chant it. That is with Nama. It has no selfishness in it. This prema does not have any selfishness in it. But at the same time, as much as he wishes to hide the divinity, divinity is something that he is. It is not something that could be completely hidden, it keeps revealing itself. Just as the sun, even in a cloudy day, the sun will suddenly pop out. The clouds will come back again, but the sun will be visible for some time. We know the sun is there. Similarly with him, even though he has covered himself with his yoga maya, in order to not be worshipped by people of Raja. Even today when you go to Rajabhumi, if you go to Vrindavan even today, we find this uniqueness. They love their Krishna, but they don't really worship this Krishna. The temples are there, they worship him, they do all. But the worship is different. They're not really worshipping him. They don't care really for that. They say, okay, you may be called the Lord of the universe and so on. To us, you are our Kana. To us, you are our Krishna. And though there is something there in that bhava with Krishna. But even though his yoga maya comes and covers it, every once in a while it comes out. Once Yashoda was sitting there, and after all this had happened, she was sitting with this child on her lap. She fed him. He suckled from her breast. He had finished eating and he was falling asleep. And before falling asleep, he yawned. Small little tiny mouth and a tiny little yawn from the tiny mouth, and inside that mouth, she saw the entire universe. Later on, she's going to see it once again when he's eating the mud, but this was the first time he gives a glimpse. And the entire universe with all of the sun and the moon and the fire and oceans and continents and mountains and rivers and forests, all of those things are seen inside the mouth of this little girl. She just dismisses it as some hallucination. About 1 odd year had already passed this time. Garga Muni. Garga was the family priest of Vasudeva. So Vasudeva called Garga Muni once on an occasion. He went to him and prayed to him. He said, Swami, you know that our 2 children are growing up in Nandagopa's house. Because this was a closely guarded secret. Garga was like a guru to Vasudeva. So he had confided in Garga Maharishi. Garga also was a Trikala Jnani. He also knew things. He was a seer. And so he said to him, both of our children are growing up there, and no formal procedures have been done. Because these people are all proper Yadavas, Kshatriyas. Those people there, the cowherds, don't know any rules and regulations, they are just living their lives. So, our procedure, we have our procedure that we follow. Our procedure has not been done. So could you please go there and name the children in line with how we do it at home here? Garga Muni said, this is wonderful news for me. He said, I hope you don't mind going. No, I don't mind going. I would love to go. I'm waiting for an opportunity to go. Why not go? Bhagavan himself is calling me. So Garga Muni sets out. And when he goes there, Nanda welcomes him. Nanda says, such a wonderful person you have come. Brahmano nitaram guruhu. Although you are not really our guru, Janmana Brahmano Guruhu, you are by birth as a Brahmana, we should consider you as our guru. You are such a great jnani. You must please come. I have a small request. We have 2 children. One is Vasudeva's son, growing up here, Rohini's son. The other is our own son. Both the children have not been named. I wonder if you could, since you have come, could you name them? Christening ceremony can you do? Appo Garga Muni wondered at the play of the Lord. Again the Vasudeva says, can you go and name? And he has come with that purpose. Now he is thinking, how do I go and tell them, come here, let me name your children? It will not be appropriate. No, you suddenly knock on someone's house. Already people are very wary. Do you have a child? Can I kill him? It seems there's a new child here. Can I take him, suckle him, kill him? Can I take him up and smash him? Now suddenly this Garga Muni with Dadi and Misha, he comes in and says, you have a child, can I name him? People are very suspicious nowadays. So he is also wondering, how do I broach this topic? But Nandagopa himself said, since you have come, would you be willing to name our children? Out of fear of so many things happening, we have postponed this naming ceremony for such a long time. So Garga Muni marveled at Bhagavan's miracle leelas, and he said, I'll definitely do it, but let's not make a big deal of it. Kamsa is always watching. Kamsa knows that I am Vasudeva's guru. He is suspecting every child growing up everywhere. So we don't want to unnecessarily attract his attention. Let us do this in solitude, in secrecy. Bhagavan's Nama is done in secrecy. When a Nama initiation is done, when Nama is given as an initiation to somebody, it is done secretly. Ura kudi chalamata. Mantra initiation, when Diksha is done, they will put a cloth on top. Nobody should be there. In the cover of that secrecy, they will whisper the name into the ear of the disciple, and the disciple will receive the nama and he will chant it. Yeah, Mantra Diksha is generally done like this. So this was Bhagavan Nama itself being given. To whom? Not to Bhagavan himself. It is given to Bhagavan. The name is going to be given to Bhagavan. And we are all going to receive this name from this point onwards. All of us are going to receive two names now. Not one, two names, beautiful names. One Rama, one Krishna. What an interesting coincidence this is. है ना, जग में सुंदर है दो नाम, चाहे कृष्ण कहो या राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो श्याम श्याम श्याम. There are only two names that are beautiful in this world now. जग में सुंदर है दो नाम. There are only two names that are beautiful in this entire world. चाहे कृष्ण कहो या राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो श्याम श्याम श्याम. That is why Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Sham Sham Sham. Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Only these two names are chanted. On this day, on this occasion, these two children are there. Both of these names are given. One is called Rama, other is called Krishna. So Gargamuni says, let us do it in solitude. Nandagopal says, all right, nobody will be there, only me, Yashoda and Rohini. Only three of us will be there. You will be there with the children. He says, good, this is done. Where shall we do it? In the cow shed. We'll do it in the cow shed. Cows will be the witnesses to it. Fine. So they went there. And Gargamuni had to give appropriate names, just as Vashishta gave appropriate names to Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Depending upon what they were going to achieve in the future, what they are representing now, looking at all other Vashishta gave names, Gargamuni has the same privilege now. So he says, I cannot be any lesser than Vashishta. Ellarkum Vashishta Bata Purama. At least I have to keep up in line with Vashishta, if not better him. He ends up bettering Vashishta, there's no doubt about it. In the end, when it comes to naming, if it is a competition between Vashishta and Garga, Garga is cleanly the winner because he gave the best name ever. Krishna. Other name he delegated to somebody else. Rama, Paya Nama unrukom. That's Balaraman kuchiputtu. Da, Balarama you chiko. And best name, updated name, new and new and improved varum. Same product, but it will be called new and improved. The branding will be different, color will be different, the logo will be different. Like that's new and improved. In a previous avatara was Rama. Now that name is given to Balarama. A fresh, new and improved name has to be given. The best name has to be given in the entire universe. What is the name? Krishna. Just listen to that name. Just listening to that name, can you not feel the sweetness and the Krishna? Isn't there something mystic about it? It is not just ordinary. It is not just some random coming together combination of syllables and sounds. Krishna. It is something so sweet, something so intimate. There is something so mystic about it. It is not. It is something. No, the way the K and the Ra come together, showing some magic. Kr. Kr is not easy to pronounce. Kr. Kr. It's not even kra. It is kr. Three things are coming together there. Ka, r, kr. And then sha and na coming together. Shna. And nothing is separate. Everything is joining together. The whole nama itself is always showing two things coming together. Two things coming together. Not one, not two, but one. And the two are always joining together. Kr, sh, Krishna. Sha and na come together in Shna. Ka and Ra come together. Kr. Krishna. Krishna. Abdina, taking many and joining them together and making it into one. The Jivatma and the Paramatma are coming together and becoming one. Radha and Krishna are coming and becoming together in one. Krishna. 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 So they all gather together and he has to give the name symbolically. So he wants to explain. Now when you're doing something very symbolic, no? If the people don't get it, you feel very lost. That's why sometimes when you crack a very intelligent joke and nobody gets it, you'll be forced to explain it. Happens many times to me. You don't like to explain it, but sometimes you're forced to explain it. You just make a reference, nobody gets it. They're just staring blankly at you. I said, okay. Ayam hirohini putro ramayan suhrudo gunaihi akyaste ramayiti baladikyat balam viduhu yadunam apratak bhavat sankarshanamashanyuta. This Rohini's son, first you have to start with the elder son. Now this Rohini's son, Ramayan will cause delight to everybody. Will give ananda to everybody. Suhrudo gunaihi, he will give delight to all his friends because of his wonderful virtues. Therefore, akyaste ramayiti, therefore I give the name Rama to him. Rama is the one who delights. Baladikyad balam viduhu, he will be very, very strong. Therefore, I am also going to call him strong. He will delight everybody, so he is called delighter. And he is very strong, so he is called strong. So together he is a strong delighter, Bala Rama. Balam viduhu, he is strong, so I will call him Bala, strength. He will delight everybody, so I will call him delighter, Rama. I mean, because we are saying it in Sanskritam, we don't understand it. Actually, if I translate it in English, is strong delighter, the name. The காலத்தில் இந்த பேரெல்லாம் இருக்கும் இல்லையா? Have you seen these Native American names? Flying eagle, strong buffalo, charging boar, chief charging boar, and the chief strong buffalo got together to wage a war with chief flying eagle. But these are names that they would mean proper in their original language. When you translate it, it will become strong delighter. Strong delighter strong delighter and Blackie came together. Balarama and Krishna came. Luckily, we refrain from translating them. Meaning here, he is actually translating it. Rama ityakyaste. I will call him Rama because he will Ramayan, he will delight everybody. Baladikyat balam vidu, because he will have a lot of balam, I will call him Bala. And also because he will bring everybody together, he is called Sankarshana. And a Sankarshana is the one who brings everybody together. Akarshana, a Sankarshana, bringing together. So these are the reasons why I am going to give these three names to him. I'm going to give him three names. Then he turns towards the main star of the show. Asan varnastrayo hyasya grinato anuyugam tanuhu shuklo raktastata pita idanim krishnatangataha. And this younger child that is sitting here, Asya, this is not the first time he is born. He has been born several times before. In every yuga he is born. Garga Mahari says, Anu yugam tanuhu. Each yuga he adopts an appropriate body. There was a time when he was white complexioned. Then there was Shweta Varaha. Then there was another time when he was red in color, Kapila. Then there was another time when he was yellow in complexion. Today, now he has come in black complexion. Krishnatangataha. Not only that, previously he was born to your friend Vasudeva. He was in one of his births, he was born to Vasudeva. Not a lie. One of his births he was born. One of his births he was also Kashyapa. Adik Munadi he was Sutapa. It is not wrong to say in one of his previous births he was born as Vasudeva's son. Adanal, if you want me to give a name for him, so first I will call him Vasudeva because he was Vasudeva's son. Vasudeva's son, so Vasudeva. I told you yesterday. Daivaka, Devaki. Vasudeva's son will be Vasudeva. Daughter irundana Vasudevi ennu per varum. So I will call him Vasudeva. Ana Vasudevangradhu enna? Why is the other reason why he is called Vasudeva? He says, Shriman Abhijnaha Samprachakshate. Abhijnaha Samprachakshate. Those who know call him Vasudeva. Those who know him, the name that they will always prefer to give is Vasudeva. What is the original mantra that was given? Dvadashakshara mantram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the primal original mantra for Sriman Narayana. Ashtakshari is there, but this Dvadasakshari is very important. This is the mantra that was given by Narada to Dhruva to meditate upon. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudeva is a very specific name for Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. Why? Abdina Vasanat Vasudevasya Vasitam Bhavanatrayam. Sarvabhuta Nivasosi Vasudeva Namostute. There are two reasons why he is called, the three reasons why he is called Vasudeva. Not simply because he is Vasudeva's son, that is the fourth reason. It's an also ran reason. Fourth reason, Vasudeva. Vasudeva is Vasudeva's son. And are three main reasons. Vasanat Vasudevasya. Vasitam Bhavanatrayam. All the three worlds reside in him. He resides in all the three worlds and he is residing in each and every person's heart. Therefore, he is called Vasudeva. Vasa means residing, residence. The Sanskrita Shabda, the word Vasa means to reside. Vasam vandradunu solrom illaya. Vasanat Vasudevaha. Because he resides everywhere, he is Vasudeva. Because everything resides in him, he is Vasudeva. Because Sarvabhuta Nivasosi, because he is present in everybody's heart, he is called Vasudeva. This is the original reason why he is called Vasudeva. The omnipresent Lord is called Vasudeva. Deva abdina God. The Lord who resides. Vasudeva. What a beautiful name for him. What is so important about this name? Unlike every other name, this name immediately reminds you of his omnipresence. You should not be able to chant this name without seeing him everywhere. Inside you, Vasudeva. Everywhere else, Vasudeva. Vasudeva inside, Vasudeva outside. That is why his name is Vasudeva. But when you remember the meaning of this name and you chant the name, then you will understand very easily the omnipresence of divinity will become apparent to you. So Vasudeva is one name given to him. Bahuni santi namani rupani cha sutasyate guna karmanu rupani tanyaham vedano janaha. Your son has many names. Your son has several names and several forms according to all of his various leelas and gunas, attributes, guna, karma, anurupani. Depending upon what he does, he's got different names. Depending upon what he does, he's got different names. Imagine like that. When if he's giving mukti to somebody, he's called Mukunda. If he kills Madhu, he's called Madhusudana. If he kills Murra, he's called Murari. If he herds cows, he's called Gopala. If he gives joy to cows, he's called Govinda. All different names. What is the meaning of all these names? Each one is depending on what he's doing. If you look at his gunas, if you look at his qualities, he's called Karunakara. If he's filled with, he showers compassion on everybody, so he's called Karunakara, Dayakara. Every time we sing bhajans, so guna, karma, anurupani, namani. He's got several names depending upon what he does and how he is. All normal people don't know all these things, only I know. Tanyaham vedano janaha. When Vishwamitra comes to ask Dasharatha to send Rama with him, he makes a similar say, Aham vedmi mahatmanam ramam satyavarakramam. I know about this Rama, others do not know, he says. Similarly, Gargamuni says, I know about this child, none of you all know about this child. He has several names, he has several forms, he will do several wonderful deeds, and based on each of those, he is going to constantly keep getting names. This is not the end of it. Afterwards, Indra is going to come and give a name Govinda. Govinda Pattabhishekam is going to happen. After he lifts the mountain up, he is going to be called Giridhari, 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 and everywhere Giridhari's Nama is going to become famous. Later on, when he runs away from the battlefield in Mathura and goes to Dwaraka, he is going to call Ranachod. Ranachod means the coward who fled the battlefield. No one can bear such a name with pride except Krishna. That is the wonder. Krishna says, Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayau nu cholva. He says, treat mana tulya ninda stutir maunihi. Tatamana apamanayoho. In the Gita, whatever Krishna says, Krishna has practiced. He says, people may praise you, people may criticize you, bear everything with a smile. So we say, aha, is Krishna Paramatma, Krishna the great. Krishna is also called Ranachod. If you go to Gujarat, he's called Ranachod there. Ranachod means one who abandoned the battlefield, one who fled the battlefield. The literal meaning, Rana, battlefield, Chod, flee, fled. Battlefield, battle fled. Anybody else will think it is derogatory. Even if they have done it, they will not like other people to talk about it. Generally. They have not done it. But if somebody says about it, now Bhagavan is not like that. It's true. It is true. Swami used to say it. Swami used to say, I don't care what you say about me. If you say I have hair that looks like a basket turned upside down, it is true. It is true. If you say I am bald, it is false. Either way, if it is true, it is true. If it is false, it doesn't apply to me. So why should I be bothered? Swami would say. What a wonderful lesson for all of us to consider. Krishna lives that lesson. So he's going to keep getting names. Gita Charya nu Chalapuram. Parthasarathi nu repair. When is it going to come? Imagine during the Mahabharata war, when he decides to charioteer for Arjuna, even now we call him Parthasarathi, the one who charioteered Arjuna. When did this name come? Not when Krishna was born. Krishna was 86 years old when he gets a new name. 11 days la per vippa. 86 வயசு தாத்தா அவங்களுக்கு பேர் வைக்கிறாமா. நாமகரணம் at 86. Parthasarathi, Gitacharya. So Garga Muni says, I cannot exhaustively give all the names, because if you start with all those names, enga ஆரம்பிக்கிறது? Vishnum Vishnur Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavi Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Grit Bhuta Vritbhavo Bhutatma Paramatma Muktanam Paramagati Avyaya Purusha Shakti Kshetrajno Ksharayevach Yoga Yoga Vidamneda. 1,000 names of Mahavishnu, Vishnu Sahasranamam. In front of Krishna, Bhishma is chanting all these names. Krishna Namam. So Rohini and Yashoda are sitting. Nice name will be given for our child. Everybody the philosophy சொல்லிட்டு வாசுதேவா அது இதுன்னு சொல்லு. நல்ல பேரை வைக்க மாட்டாரா பாப்போம் அப்படின்னா. பூதகிருத் பூதபிருத் யஜ்ஞபிருத் யஜ்ஞகிருத் யஜ்ஞா சொல்லவே முடியாது. யஜ்ஞகிருத்து கம்மியார் அப்படின்னா, பூதபிருத்து கம்மியாரா, என்ன பேரு இப்படிலாம் பேர் வைப்பாளா? யசோதா இஸ் வெரி அன்ஹாப்பி. இஸ் லுக்கிங் அட் நந்தகோபா. யாரையோ இப்படி வந்த மனுஷாலாம் பிடிச்சி பேரை சொல்லுங்க என்ன அப்படிதான். Some random Garga came calling. This husband of mine doesn't know anything. He said, come, please give a name to my child. Look at the names he's giving. Bhutabhrit, Bhutakrit, Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Where does the name start? How do you even, if you have to shorten that, Bhutam nu gopanam kadachila. We have the tradition, if there's a big long name, we'll shorten it. These are all names. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. The Lord of past, present and future. Bhuta, past, Bhavya, future, Bhavat, present. Bhuta, Bhavya, Bhavat, Prabhu, Lord. Enna Prabhu nu kupadradha, illa Bhutam nu kupadradha. So Yashoda was not happy at all. Seeing that Yashoda was not happy, Garga thought, okay, I better give a nice name, proper name, best name. So he said, we'll give him a name, Krishna. Krishna. But even that was too big. That's why it became shortened and shortened and shortened. Kanha. Kanha. The name in Tamil also we have the same names. What was given in Vrajam, we say it in South. How far away, if you take India, where is Vrindavan and where is the South? In South we give him a name. Kannan. Kannan is the name given. For Krishna, the name that is given in South is Kannan. What is Kanna but Kanha? Kanha is what becomes Kanna. Nobody else is given that name. Rama is not given that name. Kannana, it's a delightful way to call darling, but it is given only to Krishna. Kannan. Anga Kanha. Kishan. In North, Kishan. Krishna has too many Kishan. Namma inga Kittan nu solluvom. In South, in the Alvar will refer to him as Kittan. Kishan, Kittan, Kanha, Kanna, Krishna, universal name. Find a sweeter name and come and tell me if you can. It is my stance that there is no sweeter name in the entire world than this name Krishna. If you can find something sweeter, come and tell me. Bahuni santi namani rupani cha sutasyate gunakarmana rupani tanyaham veda no janaha. Only a jnani like me can know all the names of this child. Yeshava shreya adasyat gopa gokulanandanaha anena sarva durgani yuyam manjadarishyata. He is going to give great delight to the cows and the cowherds. Because of him, you are going to be able to cross over several difficulties. No one can, as long as he is around you, you'll all be safe. Don't make any mistakes about it. Look after him, consider him equal to Narayana himself. Tasmat nandatmajayam te Narayana samo gunaihi Shriya kirtya anubhavena Gopayasva samahitaha. He is equal to Lord Narayana himself. No, how else can he say? He has to somehow subtly, he cannot. After seeing this child, he doesn't want to withhold the truth. At the same time, he cannot release the truth fully. So he tries to somehow tell the truth. So later on, people should not say, you never told. They should hint slightly. They should hint and go. Like our Indian weather forecaster, there used to be one on Tamil TV. He was famous for his weather predictions. He would say, it may or may not rain lightly or heavily. பலமாகவோ மிதமாகவோ மழை பெய்தாலும் பெய்யலாம். So nobody can then question him. It rained. I told you it rained. It didn't rain. I told you it will not rain. It rained heavily. I told you it will rain heavily. It may or may not rain lightly or heavily. என்ன பாக்கி? What is left? லேசாகவோ மிதமாகவோ மழை பெய்தாலும் பெய்யலாம் அப்படின்னா. It may or may not rain lightly or heavily. So Garga said like that, he lives everywhere, Vasudeva, Vasudeva's son, Vasudeva. Nobody should later on accuse him of anything. He covered all his bases. So he said all these things and left from that place. Now comes the time. After the name comes only, Bhagavan wants to start all his leela. Otherwise you have to give a name to who did all these leelas. Some child did this leela. Krishna leela, Abdina Krishna nama has to come before he can do Krishna leela. Until then, some Putana came, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't avoid it. He had to kill her or be killed. Trinavarta came and caught her. His real leelas to delight people are only going to start now. Only after the nama comes. The significance is there. Even there, significance is there. Once the nama enters into you, into your life, then you will start seeing Krishna leela in your life. Those of you who have chosen to chant the name, Bhagavan Nama, as a sadhana. Once you take that name, once you start to enjoy that name and relish that name, then you will see how your life itself will transform. It will be very hard to keep you down. It will be very hard to make you miserable. Things may happen around you, but you have your own weapon in your hand, your escape in your Krishna. And you will lose yourself, you will go somewhere else, and all these things will remain standing there. They came to give difficulties to you, they'll remain standing because you are lost in the name. His Bala Leelas, Vrindavan, all the Leelas are going to start after the name has come to him. He has been waiting until then. Only 3 things he did until then. Now it starts. By this time now they are toddlers. They are starting to crawl first. Both Balarama and Krishna begin to, there's not a big difference between them in age. They start to crawl around everywhere. Where would they like to crawl? Both Rohini and Yashoda, Bhagavan has come only for one purpose. What is the purpose? Turn all your attention towards me. That is his point. Now his first devotees are Yashoda and Rohini. How to turn all their attention towards him? As a child, he found it to be very easy. I should keep getting into incessant, endless mischief. I should constantly put myself in dangerous situations. That is enough for them to never leave me. They will always be following me, always be behind me. That is his goal. So what would he do now? The moment he could begin to crawl, he started dragging himself through the slushy regions of Raja. இப்போ அப்படியே தான் இருக்கு. விரஜ கர்தமேஷு சொல்ற விரஜ கர்தமேஷு. விரஜ கர்தமம்ங்கிறது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். விரஜ் ரஜ், பிரஜ் ரஜ், they call it braj raj. Now the soil, the sand of Raja is so holy, so sacred. Every day people eat it. They will apply it. They will Yamuna Rajam. They will take the sand, the soil from Yamuna. They will apply it on their forehead. They will eat it. In fact, there are such staunch people. Even if they have to go out of Vrindavan, they will carry Vraja Rajam with them. The dust of Raja they will carry with them, because as long as that is there, Vrindavan is there with them. They are in Vrindavan still. When people are about to pass away, they will apply the Vraj Raj to their foreheads before they are passing away. Even after the person is dead, the first thing they will apply will be Vraj Raj, the dust of Vraja. Why is it so important? Because Bhagavan has crawled through all of those, the dust of Raja. Not only that, every particle of soil and dust in Raja is suffused with prema. Bhagavan was there only 11 years. Bhagavan lived only for 11 years there. That was not really the reason why Raja became so important. Raja became important because of the people who continued to live there after he left. They kept alive that dust of that place, so holy and sacred. Even today, it is sacred. Even today, if you go, you will find Vrindavan dusty. They are giving different reasons for it. They said they wanted to do a train track there and it was abandoned halfway. They dug everything and they left it, so it's dusty. Inge Vraja Gardameshu nu Bhagavatam solradhu. Vraja has always been dusty. Trinavartam varumbodhu nothing could be seen in the Charita. Dust of Raja is part of it. It is so sacred there. And so Bhagavan Krishna Manasau eppadi pannan nanga solradhu romba azhaga irukku. Tavangri yugmam anukrishya sarisrapantau gosha pragosha ruchiram vrajakardameshu tannada Krishna Manasau anusritya lokam mugdha prabhitavatu upeyatu antimatroho. They crawled through the dust and the slush. Why dust became slush? Why did it become slush? Because so many cows. When the cows pass, they also pass. Several things they pass when they pass by. All of that also falls onto the ground. It becomes a slush and it becomes a holy, sacred combination. You may think, there is nothing more sacred. Modern people always frown and they make all kinds of comments about it. But our Shastras have always held one thing to be true: Go Mutram and Go Meyam. Go Mutra and Go Meyam. The urine and the dung of the cow is even today considered as holy and sacred for so many reasons. Once when Swami had come to the hostel and was speaking to us, he made a mention of something very unique. He was talking about Sai Gita, the elephant, Swami's elephant. Her shed was directly opposite our hostel, so we could see her. And Swami was talking about her bhakti, how devoted she was. And Swami said, every day, the reason why she has so much devotion is because every day as part of her food, a little bit of cow dung is added to it. That is why she is so sattvic and so devoted. Then he looking at us, he said, maybe for you fellows also we should do that. Maybe you fellows will change a little bit, he said. We don't know whether they did it. Maybe they did. And even today, if before you do something auspicious, you have got to take Panchagavyam to purify yourself. 5 things made of 5 products that come from the cow. Milk and yogurt, butter like ghee, the cow urine and cow dung. These 5 are sanctified with mantras, made into a little thing, and you take it. It's called Panchagavyam. It is so sacred because it gives rise to Sattvika Bhavas in us. Vraja was filled with that. Vrajabhumi is just a cowherd hamlet. There will be no dearth of cows, nor of cow dung or urine. So the whole place is made slushy with all of that. In that he would crawl. With delight he would crawl. Hrishta manasaha. With great delight in his heart he was crawling, it seems. And they had put anklets and bracelets for him. So little ankle bells will go ringing when they crawl, when they go. And listening to that sound, they will turn around to see where the sound is coming from. Mugdha Bala. Mugdha, Bhagavan was pretending to be very innocent. Bhagavan was innocent, Bhagavan is never guilty. And Bhagavan pretending to be very innocent. The Bala Leela, it is impossible for us to understand that the Lord and the Master of the universe, while fully cognizant and conscious of his status as the Lord and the Master of the universe, not that he forgot it, still behaved in such a simple, natural way like a child. That is the sweetness of Krishna Avatar. Daiva prajnato bhatuga jiva prajna. Jiva prajnato bhatuga daiva prajna. What is the mystery of the Avatara? The Avatara brings together two essential components that are otherwise unmixable. The Jiva prajna and Daiva prajna. Jiva prajna is the individual consciousness that all of us are. Daiva prajna is his divine consciousness that he is always maintaining. And when he comes together as an avatar, he brings both of them together at every given point in time. He is both human and divine. It is not that he is now only human, now only divine. At every moment, he is both divine and human. And that itself is a mark of his grace, because if he remained only divine, he will be too far away. There will be a ravine in front of between us. When he becomes human, he becomes relatable to us. Suddenly he becomes relatable to us when he becomes human. If Bhagavan was only in the form of an Agni, now what will we do? Bhagavan comes as Krishna. So we celebrate Krishna Jayanti, Krishna Janmashtami. We make so many different sweets, that things that we say he likes. And so we make milk sweets, and we make kheer, and we make payasam, we make tattava, chide, and murukku, and whatever. I don't know how he'll eat it if he's a small child, but anyway we make. Saying he likes. I don't know, Bhagavan, does Bhagavan have any likes and dislikes, actually speaking? Aham Vaishvanuro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashhrataha Pranapana Samayukta Pachamyannam Chaturvidam. Everything that goes into the fire becomes one. There is no difference. And we say, no, Krishna likes this. That is how we can relate to him. If he always remains as that Nirguna, Nirakara, the formless, and then there is nothing we can do. From an ordinary point of view, there is no way in which we can relate to him. So he comes and creates. He has created a wonderful mechanism by which we can start to live our lives revolving around him. We will be wasting the opportunity created for us by Bhagavan if we do not do this, if we do not follow this. And as we go through, I will tell you more and more about this, because we are going to learn from Yashoda, we are going to learn from Radha, we are going to learn from the Gopikas how we can tailor our lives in such a way that we can fully utilize the opportunity that God has created by taking an avatara. Otherwise, Krishna Avataram will be obsolete. It will be no longer valid today. Krishna came to kill Kamsa. Kamsa is not there anymore. So Krishna's purpose is fulfilled. Full stop. Is it so? If Krishna doesn't relate to us now, here, today, then Krishna Avataram is an obsolete thing. But it is not. How to make this avatara valid? How to make this avatara current? That is why we are listening to Krishna Katha. It is not just 7 days of enjoyment is different. We will enjoy this for 7 days. We ourselves will travel to wherever he is. We will be in Vrajabhumi. We will also be crawling through all this slush and mud. We will also be going to Vrindavanam. We will also be going to Govardhanam. We will also be going to Mathura and Dwaraka. We will go all of those places. But after it finishes, come Thursday, it will finish. And Friday, what are you going to do? These 7 days are aimed at shaping the rest of your life. Take it like that. Make use of these 7 days. It is for shaping the rest of your lives. We are going to look at great depth. Usually, as part of the entire Saptaham, we relegate 2-3 days at the end for Krishna Avataram. It has always been a sore point for me. That is why this time we said 7 days only Krishna. Otherwise, in Bhagavata Saptaham, we cover so many different topics and we finally wind our way down to Krishna. This time we start with Krishna and we have only Krishna. Because there are so many numerous case studies that we are going to see here. Examples, they are all. Yashoda is an example, the Gopikas are an example, Sudhama is an example, Rukmini is an example. And by looking at all of them, we will find we will slot ourselves somewhere. We will find similarities with our life situation with someone else there. Not to copy, not to imitate, but to be inspired. But to learn how to do it. But to learn what it means to center your entire life around Krishna. Make no mistake, that is the sole purpose of these next few days. To learn how to center our lives around Krishna, to let it revolve around Krishna. Krishna is not a part of your life. If after 7 days you still go about thinking Krishna is part of your life, then you have wasted these 7 days. If you walk out saying Krishna is my life, not a part of my life, but is my very life itself, then these 7 days have attained their purpose fully. Because that's how the Gopikas lived their life. That is how Yashoda lived her life. That is how the Pandavas lived their lives. That's how Arjuna was. That is how Sudhama was. We'll continue in the evening at 5:30. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashchit kabhag bhavetu, lokaः samastah sukhinah bhavantu. Lokaः samastah sukhinah bhavantu, lokaः samastah sukhinah bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Sai Ishwara Arpanamastu.